Hey, welcome to Our American Travel. We appreciate you coming along for the ride. Hey, today's video is going to be about a problem we had being able to use our air conditioner here at home on our RV. We had some company come in, and we knew from having a friend stay here that when they ran their air conditioner, it kicked out our 20 amp circuit. And so we bought a SoftStartRV and installed the SoftStartRV, and now we can run our air conditioner without it kicking out that circuit. Also, you can run it on a smaller generator. It solves a lot of problems, a lot of great, I'll post a couple of videos about it. I'm going to show you a picture here, and that picture shows, startup amp being maybe somewhere between 30 and 50 amps, which would kick out a 20 amp circuit. But when you install the SoftStartRV, in our case, we haven't seen it go over like 15 or 16 amps. And so we've been able to run our air conditioner on that. And we also just bought a generator, and we're going to test that later to see if that it'll work on that generator. So hopefully this helps you install it. This is specifically for a Dometic air conditioner, a brisk air conditioner. But there's all kinds of wiring diagrams on the SoftStartRV site. If you have a Coleman or a Furrion or one of the other types of RV air conditioners, this will work on that too. And what it does is it takes that spike at the beginning when your air conditioner comes on, and it kind of levels that spike out so that you can start up your air conditioner and it'll run well. So it's kind of a lengthy video. I didn't want it to be this long, but hopefully you can fast forward or whatever if you need to get to certain parts, but it works for us, and hopefully it'll work for you. So thanks for coming along. Well, I put this ladder up beside my regular ladder just to help me get started. If you're afraid of ladders a little bit, and I don't really love heights, you might want to consider getting one of those collapsible ladders that will go all the way top, give you a little more support at the top. But I'm going to climb up this, and I'm going to try to get the cover of the AC off. That way we can verify the model number, and then we can go from there on this install. We'll do a little unboxing here of the SoftStartRV. I ordered it from TechnoRV. They're real handy. You can order it straight from the manufacturer too, but I ordered it from TechnoRV. They're great at customer service, and got it to me right away in a couple of days, 3 days. So they're down there in Alabama. And so in the box, it comes with the unit itself, which is not very big. You'd think it'd be bigger. And it has 5 wires. They look like this, 5 wires. And also in there's a few electrical ties to kind of clean up. It comes with kind of some instructions. It's really instructions on how to get instructions, because every air conditioner is different. This works on just about every well-known brand, and maybe some that aren't so well-known brand. In fact, if they don't have them, you can call them and they'll make a wiring diagram for you. Suppose I've read a lot of great things about them. So they give all the different relevant websites, frequently asked questions, support, and supposedly if you're having trouble, you can call them on the phone. They'll FaceTime with you to help you walk through it. And then all the connectors you'll need. Hopefully. And I dropped one the other, I'd taken it out and dropped one, couldn't find it, and I knew I needed that one based on the deal. And there's another electrical type, so I don't need this box anymore. Now, also, once you go online and you go up and you take the cover off and figure out what unit you have, now the Dometic, they're pretty much all the same, but I went up and verified that, and then you print out the instructions. And the instructions there's 6 steps. 6 steps to the instruction. It tells you what kind of terminal you need on the end of every wire. So I don't know. So on here it says on the red wire you need a male, and on the brown wire you need a male, and on the blue wire you need a male, and you need a female on the black and the yellow. Now, we found out from watching other videos that you should use a little L connector or a flag connector, female, because you have to put a cap on it, and if you put it straight on it, it won't be, that cap won't go back on it. So they have that too for you, but you don't know that by looking at these directions. So you need to just make sure you use that little flag connector, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. So you'll notice that all the wires, they went ahead and pre-stripped them for you. They have these little ends on them. So in the first step, in the blue wire, you need a male connector. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this off and we're going to put a male connector on. Now, male connectors look like these. They're like a little spade, if you will. Wire goes in here. Now, a lot of people online or on YouTube have they've observed that these are really for a little bit bigger wire. And so what they do is they double these over and put them in. So they just kind of like, twist it down and then double it over. And then they stick that whole thing in like so, really hard. And then they use their wire crimpers.
Hey, can you show me that? You've got it covered up with your hand.
Okay, so we need to stop because I don't know where my wire crimpers are. Oh, there they are. What am I showing?
Okay, no, I can't see it because I'm focused on where your hands were. There you go. Okay.
So you just stick it on there as far down as you can with that wire doubled over. And then you take your crimpers. If you buy it at some place, I think if you buy it from the manufacturer now, the SoftStartRV company, it actually comes with a wire crimper. I bought these separately, and so we're just going to crimp it down real hard. So crimped it down real hard, and boom. Now all of these should have electrical tape on it. So really not required. This is an insulated connection, but just kind of as a extra precaution, you put a little electrical tape on that. So that's, you don't really need to see me put it on the male one on the other wires. You do it just like that. So we know with the Dometic, if you look at the diagram, you need male connectors on blue, brown, and red. So they code these wires for you like that, really conveniently. And later there'll be instructions on, I'm going to plug the blue one into the white one from the compressor, or that may not be right, brown one into whatever from the compressor, and I'll go through those directions with you in a minute. But the first three, you need the male on there, and we'll reinforce this with electrical tape. So we're going to put these flag connectors, which are not insulated, so you definitely need electrical tape with these. And the reason we're using the flag connectors, you'll see in a minute, when we put it onto the compressor or onto the capacitor, if you put the straight on female connector, it'll set up too high and you won't be able to put the cap back on top of it. So you turn it like this so that you'll be able to get the cap back on it. So we're just gonna, just like the other, we're gonna try to thread this in here with my big old hands, and I'm gonna try to double this too a little bit, and then with my big old hands, which by the way, my hands are not all that big, in case you wanted to know, or in case you can't see that. Then we're going to crimp this as well. So that's on there pretty good. Got a couple wires sticking out here, but we're going to cover this with electrical tape. So that'll be good. That's what we do. We'll do that again also on the yellow, and we'll have all our connectors on. And so when we go up there, we won't have the work to do up on top. We'll do it down here. Okay, so now I have on the three, on the brown, on the red, and on the blue, I have male connectors. And then on the yellow and the black, I have female connectors that are, sometimes they call them a flag connector because it kind of looks like a flag, or an L connector, female, and it's going to go down on either the compressor or the capacitor. And so I think they both go actually on the capacitors. And then this brown wire, let me double check, number 6 is going to go on this little pigtail. And so we'll put the flag connector on the compressor, and this is going to go in here like so. So it's on the brown wire. So they have these little, you know, I don't even know what they're called, but it's if you have to put two wires on the same thing. So you can put another wire on it. But since we don't need that, I'm just going to clip that off in a minute. We're just going to bend it off with the pliers here in just a second. So, in fact, we could use these wire cutters here as pliers on the end, and we'll just take this and we'll just take it off. And so it came off. Boom. And so now I'm going to tape this as well. So notice I've taped all of these connectors, that just as a kind of as a backup. Good electrical practice, I think. So one of the things we want to do before you go up and start touching hot wires is we want to unplug it from the power. So right here is where the power, we have it plugged into the house over here. And so I'm going to take that off. And then I'm going to come around here as well, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the battery disconnect on. Now there's not a lot of power going there, but the thermostat is run by battery power. So 12.86, 12.85, not awful. Getting a little solar charge there. So I'm just going to take this battery disconnect, and that should turn it completely off. We've got to be able to take this box off. That's one thing we got to take off. It's got the wiring diagram on the outside of it. And this box is where the capacitors are. Over here you can see the compressor. So we've got to run wires from here to over there. In general, we'll probably put the unit right here on the side of this. So we'll clean that off real good. It'll stick out a little bit, but it'll be fine. I've seen a lot of other people do that. So I probably need to go a little wider angle here, so you can see this some. So you can kind of see we're going to be taking this box off. So I just took those 5/16 inch nut driver screws off. I had another little attachment, and it was in this little kit I have down here, and I don't know where it is now. So anyway, we have turned the power off. So I'm in here touching power, so power's off. So now I have my handy dandy instructions up here. And my foot's asleep. I may have to stand up. So step one is to trace the wire coming from the compressor. So I go over here and look at the wire coming from the compressor. It would be this one. So it's the one that's looped around. So it's definitely this one in the front here, and then I have to take that off. So I'm going to use these little needle nose pliers. Hopefully you guys can see that right there. It's this one right here, and I'm just going to pull that off. It says in advance of taking any step to route the blue, black, and yellow start light into the electrical box. And I didn't do that. Blue, black, and yellow. Blue, the black, and the yellow into the electrical box. So, back to step one. We just routed the blue, black, and yellow wires kind of around where the box will be. This is where the fan is, so we don't want them to hit the fan, but we'll tie that up later. And now we can take this white terminal off, and that's the only place it could have went. So we took the white off. We're supposed to put the step one blue SoftStart wire onto the follow the white compressor wire from the compressor, which I did, to the run capacitor C terminal, disconnect from the C terminal, and connect it to the blue SoftStart wire. So we're going to connect this to the blue SoftStart wire, and we've done that. Pretty cool. Next, we're going to put the black SoftStart wire on the one that the white came off of. Kind of cool now that I know which one that is. don't really think it actually makes a matter as long as you're in the same series here. But anyway. And then the yellow soft start wire on the terminal next to the red compressor wire. So there's multiple terminals here. You don't have to take the red wire off. You just have to put this one on one of them that next to the red. So now we've done that. So we've got all three wires in the right spot now. Step 4. If you see a second red wire next to the red compressor, disconnect it. But there's not one. So there's only one red wire. So we're good to go there. Step 5, remove the compressor cap. That's way over here. So you can see that. Red compressor cap is way over here. And one of the things that I probably should do is we have the red wire and the blue wire now. Huh? I meant to say red and brown. I don't know why I said blue. But we want to run them over to the other side, and there's one of the reasons why you don't put this thing on first. And then we put the brown wire through. Man, there's a lot of wires. Anyway, we'll have to police that up here in a minute, I hope. So, remove the compressor cap. That's this thing over here. Make sure you drop this nut onto the ground so you can't find it. So step 5, remove the compressor cap. Disconnect the blue compressor wire. That'd be this one. Didn't come off. The blue compressor wire. And connect to the red soft start wire. Red soft start wire. And then connect the female flag end of the 4-inch pigtail. 4-inch pigtail. To the terminal that the blue compressor wire was on. Route the pigtail wire with the red and the white wires and replace the cap. So, that took some doing. That hurts a little bit. Okay. You route this pigtail, this out and the pigtail out. It's just a little hard to get that cap on for a guy like me. You know, it's a whole lot easier when someone else does it. It's better when you don't drop things. I'll tell you that. Got a little taping to do, and a lot of wire tying up to do. One of the problems is there's just a lot of wires, and you got to get them kind of out of the way. What you worry about is this fan over here. I don't know how well you can see that. Worry about that fan over there. You want to get the wires all out of the way of this fan. So there you go. So I'm going to do some taping. I'm not going to record it. Okay. Okay, good. Leave it alone. Come outside. Well, we got it to work. We turned it on, not run for 30 minutes. Dropped the temp about, I don't know, 20 degrees in our. Of course, we had the thermometer right underneath where it was blowing, so we had it all dumping out in front. So anyway, now we're just gonna put the cover back on, and we were successfully started it up on a 20 amp circuit, and we have a little thing we'll show you here in a second. We'll turn it back on and show you how many amps it's drawn, and that might be kind of instructive for you, but it should run fine on our 20 amp circuit as long as there's nothing else on it. And if we find out there's too much on it, we'll have to just run it to a different circuit. So anyway, that is a mean looking spider. Yeah, a dead looking spider. Hey, we were able to capture on our surge protector the amp draw, and you can see I'm drawing 3.3 amps. That's just the fan running, and then when the air, you can see it just popped up to 12, 13, 14, and that's the max amp draw. Before, and I didn't get this documented by recording it, before we were drawing almost like 30 amps, and so it would kick out a 20 amp breaker. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Our American Travel. I trust that this will help you install the SoftStartRV if you need it for your unit, your specific application. I know it works, if you got 2 air conditioners, you might be able to run it on a 30 amp when you don't have 50 amp available. I know it works for a small generator for 1 air conditioner, or a certain size, a 30 amp type service generator. And you can run 2 air conditioners. Also, people use it for solar, so lots of great uses for it. So we appreciate you coming on. Hopefully this helps you make your installation path or your choice to buy this. We will have a link for it in our description. Hopefully it makes your choice a little easier when you decide to buy it. So as always, we love it when you like and subscribe to our video. If you would, and then hit that notification bell, which will remind you when our next episode comes out, which we hope is a little more frequently. As always, remember, it is all about the journey to infinity and beyond.